Okay, up next, Mr. Robert Wolf. How are you today?
I'm
There
well,
you
thank you. And thank you for having me. And nice meeting everybody. And wow, I'm really impressed. I'm intimidated. We have such prolific authors here in this group, and this is just my first book. I have three others in the back of my head, but let's get through this one first. It's only been out a couple of months. I'm Robert Wolf, MD. I go by Rob Wolf, or you can find me if you Google me on Robert J. Wolf, MD, or if you Google the first part of my title of my book, Not a Real Enemy. It's the whole title is actually called Not a Real Enemy, the true story of a Hungarian Jewish man's fight for freedom. And I've been in Wynmoor since 2019, so I've been here a few years. I'm from Detroit, and I went to undergraduate at Tufts University, got my BS there, went to University of Michigan Medical School. I'm a radiologist and a neuroradiologist. I went to medical school, sorry, Carolyn, at University of Michigan. And and I did my training at Brown, Rhode Island Hospital, and Yale for neuroradiology, and I've been a radiologist for 33 years, so, or pretty close to it. So the first half of my life, I wasn't so interested in the Holocaust and my parents' history, even though they sort of taught it to me from time to time. But my book, my dad and my mom in the 1970s wrote his autobiography about all his trials and tribulations. And the book goes back to little-known Hungary from World War I, where his dad was a doctor and a dentist and a captain on a military ship during World War I, all the way to the end of the Hungarian Revolution in 1956, after which my parents escaped after they were frontliners. And the Holocaust is sort of the epicenter of the book, but it covers Nazi Hungary, it covers communist Hungary, it covers the two wars, and it's an adventure. But going back to my mom and dad, they wrote the autobiography, pencil and paper, to a typewriter, to a computer, to a disc. We'll flash forward to, and I didn't think much of it for the first half of my life because I was busy, of course, with radiology, my family, day-to-day life. Flash forward to about to 1997. My dad passed away. 2016. My mom passed away. A historian friend of ours in my hometown in Michigan handed me the disc in 2016 and said, "You really should look at this." And I didn't think much of it then. I took care of my mom's affairs for a year, and then I retired for a year. A friend of mine in Michigan needed help reading x-rays and ultrasound from home. I was in Massachusetts at the time. I'm still working with him part-time, but that brought me back to the disc. Sort of corny, but the disc sort of summoned me. It called out like Superman's kryptonite, if you will. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So I read my dad's story. I was fascinated. I thought his stories were amazing. They were unbelievable. The miracles that I'm lucky to be here. And I decided I wanted to share with the world. So I converted my dad's autobiography into a biography. 20 edits later, I met a wonderful co-authors through other authors. Her name is Janice Harper. She's in Washington. She took a year and helped me rearrange the book. She took the facts as they are and made it a real quality novel, a real quality biography. And then we picked up Amsterdam publishers along the way. Early this last year, 2022, and Amsterdam publishers, this is their genre, this is all they do. And she sponsored me with this book, and we've released it in October. And I'm so excited about it. I'm really busy with social media. I'm really busy trying to promote the book. It's not only a biography about my dad, but it is the history of Hungary. It discusses my dad's parents and his family and all their triumphs and tragedies, and all my dad's adventures and journeys, miracles, multiple escapes, cloak and dagger stories, arguing with armed Russian soldiers, forged papers, hiding places you'd never expect, clothes he had to wear, places he had to hide. The friends you thought you were friends were your enemies, and the people you thought would be your enemies turned out to be your friends. A lot of twists and turns, 40 chapters, 40 stories. It covers the Stalin times, the paranoia of Stalin, which actually affected my parents' family very much. and everything in between. All my dad and mom wanted to do was practice medicine, which my dad ended up doing. He ended up being an OBGYN. In the Hungarian Revolution, he was a frontliner, as was my mom. Mom ran the blood bank, and my dad became a trauma surgeon overnight for 2 weeks during that very brief war. But there were 3,000 deaths in that war, and my parents were a part of that. And after that, after the revolution, they'd had enough of it. It was 2 wars, endless persecution, endless racism, and anti-Semitism, and they got out of the country in 1956 into 1957. They were actually going to move to Israel at my mom's mother's bequest, but Israel was in the middle of the Sinai War in 1956, and they said 2 wars is enough. So they came to the United States. Dad redid his residency at the very esteemed Beth Israel Hospital in Boston, went into Detroit and delivered over 10,000 babies in a shortened career. So the stories are amazing. I'm lucky to be here. The book can be found now on Amazon. I'm very proud and privileged to be able to do a author signing, but you can find the book ahead of time if you want me to sign later, or you can call me as well. So it's on Amazon under Not a Real Enemy. You can also find the book on Barnes & Noble. I have a website, robertjwolfmd.com, J for Joseph. So it's robertjwolfmd.com. You can email me at robert@robertjwolfmd.com. And please feel free to call or text at 810-287-3814, 810-287-3814. I look forward to meeting the co-authors, or sorry, my fellow authors, not co-authors. Maybe someday we can collaborate on a project. And then anybody might be interested in this book. It's a fascinating book. I've got rave reviews. The testimonials are great. One of the testimonials is it's 3 professors. One of them is Michael Berenbaum, who collaborated with Spielberg in the Shoah movie, where thousands of Holocaust survivors were interviewed, including my mom, amazingly. So any questions? Is there time for questions?
Robert, that was wonderful. And we're going to hold questions because we want to get through all of our guests today. But again, we're going to have a book signing, everybody. It'll probably be first week of February. And we'll get the blast out to everybody. And I'd just love to meet everybody in person. These are great stories. And Jackie, we're so lucky to have people in our community like this and to share it with everybody else.
We absolutely are, Robert. They're amazing stories. I have to tell you, one of the greatest honors and pleasures of my career here in Wynmoor, or in my life actually, was I was doing the census, and I did it here in Wynmoor. And I can't tell you how many stories from Holocaust survivors that I could sit with them for hours and listen to them. Amazing people, just inspiring that they could go through what they went through and still come here, build an amazing life, and still have the spirit and the joy in their life. So
Thank
kudos.
you for saying that. Thanks again for having me. Thanks for saying that. And now that you mention that, and in Carolyn's light, 10% of my author proceeds from my book are going to be contributed to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. So that's I've already started doing that, and that's going to continue. That's in my trust. It's going to continue as long as the book is alive and selling. 10% is going to go to the Holocaust Museum in D.C. So thank you for saying that too.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.